When is it socially appropriate to start celebrating Halloween? Because I know it's still summer because it is triple digit hot outside right now in Los Angeles, but this movie instantly put me in a crisp fall spooky season mood and I can't wait to talk about it. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emily or La Movie Mija. I'm a part-time filmmaker, full-time movie lover, and this is my review of Beetlejuice. This movie actually comes out the week of Michael Keaton's 73rd birthday, so happy birthday, Michael Keaton. I heard that he said this is one of the most fun he's had making a film, so it really makes me excited to talk about it with you today. And there is a lot to get into with this sequel, so without further ado, let's just dive right in. 3 generations of the Deetz family return home to Winter River after an unexpected family tragedy. Still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life soon gets turned upside down when her rebellious teenage daughter discovers a mysterious portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times, the mischievous demon gleefully returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. The film is directed by Tim Burton and it stars Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega, Willem, Dafoe, Justin Theroux, Monica Bellucci, and so many more. As always, I'll be giving you my spoiler-free review before I get into those meatier, juicier, more undead details. I had such a good time with this movie. I was so ready to have my corporate guard up the whole time, like a sequel like this emerging from the shadows miraculously after 36 years. Money, 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 money. But I was enchantingly disarmed and quickly was so happy to be reunited with the characters and the world of Beetlejuice. The visual identity of this film is very much in tandem with the first. Same wonderful practical effects, same elaborate storytelling through costume, and that overall zany neon Halloween style that reminds me of a carnival funhouse. Even the black comedy tone that made the first movie such a rewatchable classic is very present here. But what I really like about this film is that it felt like a natural continuation of Lydia's story. She's lived a lot of life since we last saw her, and she is still haunted and is navigating a time of uncertainty. As wacky and as wild as this movie gets while balancing so many new characters, plot lines, backstory, this movie never loses sight of its true soul. Winona Ryder as Lydia, and she is such a treat. She is the soul of this movie. She steps back into this character with such ease. Her chemistry with her daughter really grounds the entire story in a lovely way. Their relationship is the heart of the movie, and Jenna Ortega's performance as a disconnected teen is like phenomenal. Catherine O'Hara, she's absolutely great. I can't believe how much I've missed her since Schitt's Creek has ended. Critique for this film could be that it introduces us to more characters than it has a runtime for, and at times we're jumping from plotline to plotline and it gets a little confusing, but I felt like this movie reaches a satisfying conclusion that brings everything together in the end. The right amount of nostalgia and callbacks that really hit me in my cold, dead heart. I really can't wait to see this again. So do yourself a favor and treat yourself to a little spooky double feature, starting with the 1988 classic and then this one. It's showtime. Let's talk spoilers. Creepy crawly spoilers. Hee 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 hee. Okay, first thing is I gotta say I love when a movie gives us actual New England Halloween time with that crisp autumn air and those Halloween decorations. It just tickles me when movies have a strong holiday setting, and it just really cemented this as a future Halloween watch for me, so I love that. Now, I can't resist talking about the first movie when reviewing this one, and that's because I feel like the root of the essence of what makes Beetlejuice a cult classic is very much present in the sequel. What really sinks in for me with each rewatch of the first movie is just how dark and macabre the subject matter is. Like, the older I get, the sadder this movie is, the more dark it is. The fact that this movie flips the cliche of ghosts haunting houses and instead gives us people haunting ghosts, it's setting up the blurred borders between life and death, past and present, criticizing the American greed to capitalize on anything. Particularly harrowing is the American greed to capitalize on the suffering of others. In life and death, everyone is trying to escape. Nobody is happy. The world is unappealing and there is no comfort in death. It's all presented to us very clinical and random, like going to the DMV, and worse yet, there is no catharsis. There's no catharsis in that transition to the afterlife. But the movie, while bleak in theme, has the lively stylings of Tim Burton, distorted and dreamlike, underscored by unforgettable music by Danny Elfman. That juxtaposition is what makes Beetlejuice successful, because it's presented in the same aesthetic that perfectly places the movie in the same universe as the first, music cues and all. And it has an equally high-stakes, human-centered story. The time that has passed between the first movie and the second is felt, and our characters have lived since then. Their relationships evolve. It's smart to pick up where we do, and our re-entry into the Deetz's lives feels earned. All 3 generations of Deetz women are at a place of transition. Delia has just lost her husband, Lydia is barely participating in her relationship with her slimy manager, and Astrid is still grieving her father and isn't connected to anybody. I really enjoyed the chemistry between all 3 actresses. There was a lot of nuance and differences between how they related to one another, and I really like how grounded we were in their relationships throughout the entire story. And the crux of the movie correctly relies heavily on their individual storylines and plot connectedness. The horrors of this movie were effective for me. In those 3 main stories, we experience the devastation of losing your partner, loneliness and the dangers of the teenage fuckboy, and the horror of being a passive presence in your own life. I really enjoyed all 3 of these primary arcs and how they related to one another and how they supported one another through them, all culminating into a final wedding scene. Also, does this look like a veil? I really hope it does, because it's too late to go back and re-record this whole thing. Anyway, just like the first, there are vultures in the midst trying to capitalize on the suffering of others. Teenage love interest Jeremy is using Astrid's grief to trick her into exchanging her soul for his. Ew. Sleazeball Rory bullies Lydia to put work first, to the detriment of her health, and he is only motivated to marry her for her money. Ew. Beetlejuice himself has expanded his freelancing bioexorcist operations with the help of people like Bob. Bob! I loved Bob so much in this. R.I.P. Bob. Hell, even greedy real estate agent Jane Butterball is back with eyes on selling this house. Her mom couldn't sell it, so she's like, it's my turn. Butterball's gonna get this money. But speaking of callbacks to the first movie, there is so much to note. This movie has the same ending, almost nuptials between Beetlejuice and Lydia. That's kind of funny. I love all the nods that they had throughout this movie, both visual and explicit. It's unbelievable that Lydia would have like the same like bangs and bun combo from her teenage years, but it's still such a good look on her. I really like the visual gags too, like with us seeing the back of Beetlejuice's head and those creepy crawlies are popping out around him. Then there's a repeated gag of the lip syncing, which I thought was delightful. But you let me know, did you enjoy those parts? I also felt that there were nods to Tim Burton's other movies. The Burnt Santa gave me like Nightmare Before Christmas, and then you had the blown up Beetlejuice at the end in the church, and it gave me Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when Violet becomes a blueberry. Monica Bellucci's Dolores reminds me of Emily from Corpse Bride with a little bit of Sally, the way she sews herself together. And this guy, Bob, he gets his own arc. Bob! This is the character death I was most upset about. He is why I am in mourning. Getting to see the backstory between Dolores and Beetlejuice was so fun. I love that we broke the format of the film to show us Beetlejuice when he was still part of the land of the living in this black and white Italian language flashback. So cool that it was in Italian too. Like, he died so long ago. It just makes sense. Is that what he meant when he said, I hope you like Italian in the first movie? We have another storytelling moment that breaks the format as well in the stop motion sequence where we see what happened to Charles Deetz. This and the way he died were an inventive way to keep the actor out of the movie. Like, he was chopped in half, like the top half of him was missing. He was just a throat spilling out blood. I love that the movie wasn't afraid to get silly, and why not throw all of this at us? It's this, yes, give me more, please. I'd be remiss not to mention the awesome new characters. Willem Dafoe as an actor playing a detective was just a hilarious gag that got funnier every time I came back to it. I mean, it wasn't necessary, but yes, if you're gonna ask me if I want more Willem Dafoe in a movie, I'm always gonna say yes. Justin Theroux as Rory was so punchable and awful. A witty commentary on how some men utilize the tools they learn from therapy and weaponize them against others in order to hide their weakness and manipulate them. Fun. Arthur Conti as Jeremy had such a cute chemistry with Jenna Ortega. I was sad when he betrayed her. I was hurt. I thought they were cute. I knew he was dead from the moment they stepped in that house and we didn't see the parents' faces. That was clue number one. I was like, something's wrong. But I didn't expect for him to turn on her like that. I'm still upset about it. Monica Bellucci as Dolores doesn't have much to do. But in a time where we are getting so many femme Frankenstein interpretations, it's nice to see a bad bitch put herself together. Girl power. Okay, can we talk about the film's ending? I know y'all were a little upset I didn't get into the blink twice ending, and I learned my lesson, so we're going to talk about this ending. It's a little chaotic. We arrive at the church for Lydia and Rory's midnight Halloween wedding. The wedding guests get sucked into their phones, a little on the nose. but I enjoyed it. But not before Beetlejuice injects Rory with a truth serum where he reveals his nasty intentions, giving Beetlejuice a hero moment in front of Lydia. But Dolores shows up to take him out while Detective Wolf Jackson also shows up, and oh my god, it's a lot. A lot is happening, but I freaking admire the wacky cacophony of stories. You tell me if I'm giving it too many passes, but even though it shouldn't work, I think it does. There was such great momentum culminating into this moment, especially the emotional catharsis of Lydia and Astrid connecting through processing grief before the chaos ensues. The lip sync number that accompanies this ending is so long, but enjoyable. It was so beautifully lit inside the church. We even get some cool choreography from Jenna Ortega and Catherine O'Hara, who is doing the choreo from Deo. I saw that. The way she's shaking her butt up and down, that is the choreo from Deo. I mean, look, it's been 36 years since the original movie, and it's an important intersection between Beetlejuice's lust for Lydia and Lydia confronting her past so she can enjoy her future. So yeah, I ate up the drawn-out gothic romance of it all. As wacky and as unnecessary as it may be, I love that we had an extended musical scene and they're just there floating while the rest of the action finds its resolution. Overall, this movie just really worked for me, not only as a sequel, but as a standalone spooky season staple. What can I say? I'm a sucker for a little ennui and absurdity. I'm a simple woman. Give me something wacky, a little crazy with a little musical number. I'm golden. Let me know if you are a fan of Beetlejuice. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy talking about movies with me. And let me know if there's an upcoming movie release that you're looking forward to. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.